Well, good morning and welcome to Mirador Television, and what a fine set of lakes that is. And the end of an era as the death of, as the Metro puts it, farewell, Miss Miniskirt. The miniskirt, the fashion revolution which shocked and then perked the world and set a trend that went for decades and decades and decades. Well, good morning and welcome to Mirador, the White Hart Hotel in Lewes in East Sussex. And I'm Keith Hayes, and we, for the next half hour, are going to look at the news headlines and hopefully see what is happening where. It is now 8:32 in the morning, and it's the 14th day of the fourth month, January, February, March, April. That's correct. In the year of 2023, a year that didn't show much improvement so far on 2022, and that was a pretty dreadful year. Crisis after crisis after crisis. But still, we are still here. We are still in the White Hart Hotel, the historic hotel where Tom Paine formulated his thoughts about the rights of man, went off, persuaded the colonists to tell us in Britain to get stuffed, and laid the foundations of the United States of America, which, according to the historian Bill Bryson, Tom Paine, our man from Lewes, named. So there you are. And the plaque on this hotel says, "We are sitting in the cradle of American independence." How's that for starting a Friday? And in fact, we hope that a little later we will actually get our correspondent Melissa Conti on from New York to find out what's going on over there firsthand. But for the moment, let us concentrate on what's happening here. It is in the Metro. It is farewell, Miss Miniskirt, and the Metro pays tribute to Dame Mary Quant, whose era-defining designs made the 60s swing. The fashion designer died yesterday, aged 93, and appears on many of today's front pages. The paper also carries an interview with actors Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage, who star in the new Dracula film, Renfield, out in cinemas today. So there you are, the Mini. Before a couple of decades later, we got the Maxi, and all the legs were covered up again. Nowadays, they just end up in heavy boots. God only knows what they think they look like, I'm sure, but still, that's the modern generation. And it assaults my eyes, but apparently not those of the young men who would lust after young ladies, or the young ladies who are trying to attract young men. And I suppose that's all politically incorrect, but bugger it, I don't care. Right, okay, let's go on to the Financial Times, because then we start to get into the heavy stuff, because Ernst & Young continue to be in the headlines, and it's Ernst & Young are amongst the largest top four of British consultants and accountants, and they've run into trouble in I think it's Germany, where they have been banned for 2 years, and they've been fined half a million euros or whatever currency they're using over there now, and it's forced the company EY to take a look at itself and decide on a restructure. The restructure has run into trouble. And what the Financial Times is saying is that the company has been warned that if it doesn't split its consultancy and its auditing arm, then they're going to have to let go an awful lot more people. So that's it from the Financial Times this morning, way off the beat of any other of the newspapers. The Times, the unions look set to reject a final deal on nurses' pay. And that is an ongoing sore at the moment. How that's going to play out, I have no idea, none whatsoever, and I don't think anybody else does. We have a new militant stream of young medics, if you want to use that term, who seem to be very uncompromising in terms of negotiating a pay deal. They are on a strike, and how is that going to affect everybody in terms of the health service? Well, the fact is, we don't really know. We don't know what the long-term effects will be. The short-term effects are that there are operations being cancelled. Some of the papers are saying that it's leading to deaths already. Certainly, I personally have had one of my operations postponed. So they are a pretty militant bunch, and they are very key that they are not getting a good deal. I don't suppose they are. What a lot of these younger unions seem to don't understand is there is a certain pot of money, and it's got to be shared out, and the pot is not going to grow any bigger. The country's strapped as it is because of lockdown, so they can fight for their share, but in getting a bigger share, somebody else has got to take less. Now, doctors and nurses, who do you think should take less? Come on, fess up. You know what you want. You know what the cost is. You know what the effect is. Who do you want to take less? You've got to be bold about this. You've got to be straight up front. Otherwise, no sympathy whatsoever for you. None. If you want to reject the pay deal, that's fine. Go ahead. But somebody has got to pay for whatever excess you want. And you've got to tell us who is it that you want. Because it's no sense in putting that lovely smile on your face, say, ha, 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 we are so indispensable. So is everybody else, including dustmen, the people who dig gardens, the plumber, the baker. They are all worthy. So which of them are going to take less? Go on, tell us. Because there is no sense in being a trade union that hides behind the truth. Having said that, I don't know of any trade union that doesn't. It's always got a me approach. There is no contributing. What can we do for the country? It's only what can the country do for us. The Times actually claims that the Royal College of Nursing will reject the government's latest pay deal following a ballot by its members. Dashing hopes of an end to months of industrial action, nurses leaders are expected to announce a return to the picket lines. There you go. There you go. But don't please hide. You tell us who's going to take less. Who's going to take less? I can't. I don't get enough as it is. Right. The Telegraph. Deaths rise as junior doctors go on strike. That's following the on the theme of the NHS. The Telegraph leads with a data-driven report about deaths supposedly rising in the 2 weeks during and after the first round of industrial action by junior doctors. An unnamed government source is quoted as telling the paper that British Medical Association leaders seem willing to put politics above patient safety, though the report cites experts as saying there could be another explanation for excess deaths, including flu cases, hospital admissions, and cold weather. There they are again, beaming in the wonderful brightness of youth, but really in a generation that is me, and it really is. It really is. We ain't doing nothing for nothing. Well, I don't know. My generation did, and we're not doing too badly as a result. Anyway, Rishi Sunak says 100% of women don't have a penis, in contrast to Starmer, who believes thousands do. You would cry if you didn't. The Daily Mail says, "At last, a leader who knows what a woman is." And both the Telegraph and the Daily Mail carry a story about comments by Rishi Sunak, which was made during an interview with the Conservative Home website yesterday. The latter paper making its front page focus, "At last, a leader who knows what a woman is," the Mail's headline reads, which the paper says refers to the Prime Minister's appearance and answering "yes, of course" when asked whether 100% of women do not have a penis. There was another image of Miss Quant, too. Here she is remembering the genius who invented modern fashion. So there we are. Oh, Rishi, I don't know. I mean, I go along with you, really. I really do go along with you. It's a nonsense. It's it's how the hell did they get themselves into this sort of debate? I have no idea. People are dying. People are dying from not being on the operating table. People are dying from going to war. People are dying from famine and so on and so forth. And what is it that we're worried about is whether some women have got a penis or not. Jesus. I mean, it really does make me wonder. It really does. How important is that? Well, to some individuals and a few groups, it may be. But is it really something that should impose itself on the rest of us? I don't know. I really don't. Families plead for disabled children to get access to their own savings. Now, this one's coming out of left field. We haven't really seen much about this before. Disabled children is this is in the Eye, by the way, and the story is that. Tens of thousands of families are reportedly fighting to unlock trust funds set up for their children under former Labour Chancellor Gordon Brown. Disabled children are being denied access to their savings, the paper claims. Well, is that going to be another scandal? Is it going to be another fight? Is it going to be another climb down? Is it just a civil service thing, which it can be? I mean, let's face it, if anybody can cock it up, it's the civil service, isn't it? Every time I say that, I get friends even saying, "Keith, the civil service is it's very good." Well, yes, it is, but it's full of flaws because it's inflexible. That's the problem. It's inflexible. And flexibility has got to be the name of the game nowadays. Right. Okay. No appetite to make peace. And this is the Daily Express. No appetite to make peace with Harry. Right. Okay. All right, Harry. You've got to take some spotlight, I guess. And a royal exclusive leads the Daily Express, with the paper quoting a source as saying the royal family are focused on planning for the historic king's coronation and have no appetite or time at this stage to think about reconciliation between the monarch and his son, the Duke of Sussex. It comes following the news that Prince Harry will fly back to the UK for the coronation without his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, or their children, which the Express claims has brought some relief to the king. Well, I don't think you meant it that way, Harry, but there was a little inside story, by the way, by an analyst who says that actually the Sussexes are not coming out of this fight terribly well, that they are beginning to show fraying around the edges. I must confess is that if I was in this fight, it'd scare the hell out of me. It really would. Oh, yes, sir, it would. That sort of thing is not my cup of tea. Right, okay. Let's the Mirror very quickly. A rapist gets his hands on the £7 million lotto jackpot. The sex beast's life of luxury after victory in the legal fight for access to his winnings. He's accused and sent down for rape, and he wins a lottery ticket. You can't make it up, can you? Right, okay. Let's go to the Star, because it always gives us a little bit of a laugh. It really does. And what's it all about today? Is oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The thing that has always been controversial is what about the stink under our arms? What it says is a new pongdemic fear. It's the pits. A whiff of trouble over £5 cans of deodorant. And what the Star is saying is an unlikely result of the UK's rising cost of living features in the Daily Star, with the paper warning it can sense a whiff of trouble as the cost of deodorants heading for £5 a can. Warning of a possible pongdemic, the Star says, because the price hikes have already got the British public in a sweat. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's lovely, isn't it? I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic that we've got the Star. May it always be there for us to give us a smile on the headlines when all around us is beginning to fall down. Right now, the other thing that is, of course, important is what's it going to do outside today, and we'll take a look. We should be able to see. No, it was too much to hope that we would be able to find quite easily the what's going on today. Yes, we have found a bit of it. I think it's the 14th. Here we go.
I know you live every day like it's you.
I love his little laugh. Just a couple of local stories that are worthy of note. We have on this program said that we received the political bump from the governor of police, one of the police commissioner, and saying what a wonderful job she'd done and so on and so forth, and please understand why they want a share of the council tax and all the rest of it is another rainforest gone just to explain. And we've said, well, it's all very well, and you say that you've got this number of coppers, but the only time we see them is because we are actually looking out at the Crown Court, and we see them turn up to either give evidence or to bring in prisoners or whatever. And now it appears that there is the Sussex police have been hit by a damning report as urgent improvements are demanded from the watchdog. And what that's all about, some concerns about the performance of Sussex police have been highlighted in a new HM Inspectorate of Constabulary and Fire and Rescue Services report. Concerns about the force's ability to investigate crimes and its general record of crime data have been noted over the last year, with improvements needed in some key areas. So there you are. Is perhaps seeing is absolutely not. Let's see the other stories. Investigation is opened into the cause of the Halland Garden Centre fire that saw 12 fire crews called out. What else have we got that might be of some interest? A fresh appeal to find a missing man, as police are extremely concerned for his welfare, and win a pass for the Dare Skywalk Edge at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Oh, all right. Well, that's the local stuff. But certainly this report into the police is, I hope we don't get the mealy-mouthed stuff from the local politicians, whatever level, whether we're coming up to an election. Why have we got a police who are actually not at a level that is expected by the inspector of constabulary? You know what they'll say is, no, that's county, or that's district, or that's local, or whatever. They'll all pass the buck. They won't give you an answer. And then they'll try to tell you how they are managing to get 2 more electric points in car parks. I despair. I really do. I despair at the level of politics that we've got, not only in this country, but in this area at this level. Okay, it's 8:53. And what really is in the news that should be looking at giving our attention is it's Mary Quant. I think it was in the 1960s who unveiled the Mini. I remember very well that I was living in Vancouver at the time, and that suddenly there was this fashion revolution. It's wow, the dresses that showed a lady's legs. Up until then, it had been sort of neutral, neither showing them or not showing them, and I suppose what you did was you sat in a pub and hoped that a lady's dress might hike up a little bit, so you got a good look at it. Now, me all saying this is the purists are going to say, "Oh, look, listen to that absolute rubbish." Listen, that's the way we felt in the 1960s, and I am not going to apologize for it, because what we did in the 1960s was we started a revolution that actually conquered the world. We started a revolution that swept around the globe, not only in fashion, but in a whole host of other things. In television, in radio, in holidays, in air travel. Those are just a few. Never mind the fashion. We also managed to develop various remedies. We did away with things like polio. We did away with things like consumption, as it was known. We made quite a contribution. And my question is, other than fiddling around with computers and making life miserable for getting on a bus or going into a cafe and being told they don't take cash, what have you done? And when I say things like this, and I put them up on Facebook, is I get all sorts of people who are betwixt and between saying, "Oh, well, look what the youth are doing, and we've got to give them a chance." Well, we're giving them a chance, and they're not really responding very well. I don't think it's just tough enough out there at the moment. And boy, is that going to be controversial. I'll watch when I walk out of the White Hart today. Oh dear. Yeah. But some people need to say these things so that at least we can get an argument back instead of the silly nonsense it's all your fault. It's not our fault. We made mistakes. Boy, did we make mistakes along the way. But we also gave the country relatively peaceful approach to the world. We gave it a stable economy. We gave it a sufficient housing. We gave it all sorts of things. So don't knock us just because we want to give you some advice and you don't want to take it. You don't have to make all the same mistakes that we made. And get over being told. Oh dear, do not smack a child. It's wonderful to be Luddite. It really is. Because it's like grandchildren. They are delightful, and you can hand them back. Well, with younger people today, you're delightful. I love talking to you. I love listening to you. But I'm glad I can hand you back, because I sure as hell wouldn't trust you at the moment in the controls of anything to do with our modern life. So let's put it that way. It says now 8:57, and we are coming up to the end of our first half hour, and let's see if there's something, because there is something that if I can find it, that I really would like to show. I'm very, very key about Parkinson's. It is the forgotten disease. It is the forgotten disease, and that's and why? Because it strikes the elderly. Good morning. This is Mirador Television, and this is totally unscheduled. Behind this picture of Parkinson's disease is me. And what's more, I've got Parkinson's. Oh, yes, I have. And that's why I thought I was just pottering around this morning. And if you try to see me picking something up, it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I have to flip it against the wall so that I can get some leverage. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's my computer, whether it's a pin, whether it's a pen, or whether it's a £5 note. That's a rarity in itself. But I just wanted to have a quick word to make an appeal on behalf of Parkinson's and Parkinson's sufferers. I don't want you to send me any money or this station any money. We're very bad at handling money. We get ourselves into all sorts of trouble trying to handle money. But please send some donations to Parkinson's, because it is the forgotten. It is the forgotten disease, and it's debilitating, and it's frightening, and it's scary. A lot of famous people have had it. Billy Graham, Michael J. Fox, Muhammad Ali, the Big In, whose name I remembered a moment ago and I've forgotten now. That's a sign of Parkinson's. You start to get a little bit of dementia. Not a great deal, but some. But Neil Diamond. There are lots of famous people who have Parkinson's, and I know a few who fight it. That's the point. It's really a positive way of thinking. I am very positive. It ain't going to get me. I've had it for almost 10 years now. And yes, I'm worse now 10 years later than I was 10 years ago. But I'm still not as bad as everybody thought I would be. Yeah, I shuffle. I have difficulty walking. I don't have difficulty holding a glass of wine or a pint, I'll tell you that. But basically, I look at it in a very positive way, because each morning when I take a pill, which I have to take, I say to Parkinson's, bugger off. Just get away from me. Go away. And it does for a day. I'm able to function almost normally. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm 83. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I've got Parkinson's. I get myself ready. Off I go. And I start a television. Well, I start preparing a television thing at about 7:15. Sorry. Yeah, I get up at 5:15. At 7:15 in the morning at the White Hart Hotel in Lewis, and then at 8:30 I go on the air. Okay, it's only on the internet, it's only on broadband, it's only on social media, but nonetheless it gets to enough people to count. And I run a television operation, a television channel. And I often say, come on, get behind Parkinson's. This one is specific. Get behind Parkinson's. That's what I'm saying to you. Get behind Parkinson's. Let's see if we can. There. Right. That's what's happening to the inside of the body, even though on the outside it doesn't look too bad. At least for some. Some people shake. Some people have difficulty lifting their feet. Some people have all sorts of manifestations of Parkinson's. But basically, I tell it to bugger off. And then I spend 3 hours in front of the camera each morning, steering through all sorts of people with all sorts of interesting things. For what? 3,000 people? Only probably about 50 watching at any given time. But does it matter? No, it does not. Because I believe passionately in what I do. And in believing passionately what I do, I'm able to shut off the fact that I've got Parkinson's. So please, what I'm saying to you is, there's no formal appeal. They don't even know I'm doing it. Please send money to Parkinson's. Yeah, you can send £3 to a puppy, or you can see £3 to a lion, or you can see £3 to a child in distress, and all those things are very worthy. But Parkinson's does tend to hit you later in life, and it's just oldies that get forgotten a lot of the time. Well, we ain't forgotten. We have a voice, and we make it heard every day, and I make it heard to Parkinson's. Bugger off, I tell it, and it helps. I don't know that it buggers off totally. No, it doesn't. Of course, it doesn't. I've still got it, but I do take a positive attitude towards it, and I would ask you to take a positive attitude towards it. Just send them a few bob. That's all. That's all, just to help the research. This one I saw. If I started to do Irish jigs, it would help. Well, if that's the sort of research that's being done, God bless it. Why not? Let's try an Irish jig. Not right now. It's breakfast time. Anyway, this is Key Hayes of Mirador Television saying to you, please, 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 will you consider giving some cash to Parkinson's? Give it a go. It's a disease that is forgotten largely in the welter of publicity that you can get about all the diseases that hit people. But some famous people have had it, and some famous people have fought it to the bitter end. I'm going to fight it to the bitter end. Have I got another week? Have I got another day? Have I got another year? Have I got another decade? Oh, God help everybody if I have. But I'm going to fight it. For as long as I've got left, I'm going to fight it. Why don't you help me? Run alongside me. All right? Give it a little bit of something. Even if you just wake up in the morning and tell Parkinson's to bugger off. I would urge you, don't forget it. That's the main thing. Toodle pip. It's 9:05. We'll be back in about 30 minutes. We look forward to seeing you then. Toodle pip.